The portal refreshes at 7:30 a.m. every day. Green numbers climb. No volatility, no missed days. Investors sip coffee and watch balances grow, while the market outside stumbles and bleeds. The gains never hesitate. That is the first problem. At 9:12 a.m., a withdrawal request flips to processed. By noon, nothing hits the bank. Support replies within minutes. Polite, calm, useless. Please allow additional time. The numbers keep rising anyway. Inside the firm, a screen share slips for 3 seconds. A dashboard appears that clients were never meant to see. Columns loop back into themselves. No trades, no market exposure. Just math feeding math. By late afternoon, access slows. A maintenance notice posts without warning. Investors refresh harder. Executives hold quiet calls. A compliance alert dies in an inbox. The portal still shows profit. It always does. The question is no longer how much money is there. The question is whether any of it ever was. Chapter 1. Setup and stakes. The portal refreshed at the same time every morning. 7:30 a.m. Eastern. No lag, no variance. The numbers appeared fully formed, already settled, already confident. Investors noticed because markets did not behave that way. Not ever. But the portal did, and that consistency became its strongest claim. Clients logged in from kitchens, offices, parked cars. The interface was clean, white background, green arrows, modest daily gains stacked into neat columns. No spikes, no dips, just progress. The language was careful, real-time performance, verified results, secure infrastructure. Nothing sounded reckless. Everything sounded managed. Withdrawals were available through a single button. Click. Amount. Confirm. The screen shifted to a calm blue banner. Status processed. No error codes, no warnings, no reason to worry. The money did not arrive, but the system never admitted delay. Processed was final. Complete. Closed. Support responded quickly. That mattered. Most platforms stalled when trouble started. This one did not. Emails came back in minutes. Thank you for your patience. High volume period. Banking partners require additional verification. Your funds remain secure. Each message felt written to slow a pulse, not solve a problem. By the end of the first week, the same issue appeared across accounts. Withdrawals marked complete. Balances untouched. Profits still climbing. Investors compared notes quietly. No one wanted to be the first to say something was wrong. The portal punished doubt by continuing to look perfect. Inside the firm, the compliance officer noticed the pattern. Her job was to notice patterns. She tracked transaction flow, flagged mismatches, logged irregular timing. The withdrawal queue showed activity. The banking confirmation log did not. That gap should not exist. She escalated it once, then again. The response came from operations, we are aware. Temporary sync issue being resolved. Please do not escalate externally. The phrasing mattered. Not do not worry. Not we are fixing it. Do not escalate. Later that day, she joined a routine video call with a senior product manager and 2 engineers. Screen share was enabled. For 3 seconds, the wrong window was active. It vanished quickly, but she saw enough. A dashboard she had never been given access to. No market feeds. No exchange identifiers, just internal counters updating themselves. She asked for clarification. The product manager smiled and said it was an internal testing view, not relevant to compliance. The engineer cut his camera. The call moved on. No one addressed the screen. The portal continued to perform. Executives used the numbers as proof of discipline. They cited consistency in investor briefings. They praised the algorithm. Risk managed, volatility dampened, returns smoothed. The portal was framed as an answer to chaos, not a participant in it. Investors believed because they wanted to believe. The market had been cruel recently. Losses felt personal. This system felt different. It felt designed to protect them. The gains were not flashy. That helped. Nothing screamed scam. Everything whispered stability. One investor tried a second withdrawal. Smaller amount, same result, processed, no deposit. Support answered faster this time. The language shifted slightly. Banking holiday. Regional delay. Please allow 48 hours. The portal clocked another gain overnight. The compliance officer pulled logs again. The timestamps repeated across accounts that should not align. Withdrawals entered at different times appeared processed in the same second. That was not a delay. That was a template. She documented everything. She prepared a memo. It went to legal and operations. The response came from above both. Stand down, this is being handled. Focus on your assigned scope. Her assigned scope did not include asking how profits were generated. That information lived elsewhere. The portal treated gains as a given. Inputs were invisible. Outputs were all anyone saw. Executives scheduled a maintenance window for the following weekend. Unplanned. Short notice. The portal would be unavailable for 6 hours. Routine upgrade. Performance enhancements. The notice appeared after midnight. Most users did not see it until morning. Behind closed doors, pressure mounted. The illusion required continuity. Any interruption risked questions. The portal was not built to explain itself. It was built to display confidence. Customer support received a new script. A single line was added. Due to enhanced security protocols, some withdrawals may experience brief delays. Brief was undefined. That was intentional. The compliance officer requested access to back-end reconciliation data. The request was denied. She asked again. Silence. By Friday, the withdrawals backlog grew. Investors refreshed dashboards instead of checking bank accounts. The green numbers distracted them. The system trained them to trust what they could see. One investor posted a question in a private forum. Has anyone successfully withdrawn this week? Replies came fast. Yes, but small amount. Still waiting. Mine processed yesterday. Silence followed. The thread was locked by moderators an hour later. Executives framed the maintenance window as proactive. They spoke about scaling, about growth, about demand exceeding projections. They never mentioned withdrawals. The portal did not break character. It never acknowledged strain. Every refresh delivered certainty. That certainty became the product. Late Friday afternoon, the compliance officer received a final message. Her access would be limited pending review. Standard procedure. She was told to take the weekend. Do not log in during maintenance. We will follow up Monday. She forwarded her files to a personal device. She did not know why yet. Only that the system did not want her watching. At 7:30 a.m. Saturday, the portal refreshed one last time before going dark. Gains posted as usual. No warning, no deviation. Investors saw profits climb, then watched the login screen freeze. The maintenance banner appeared. Scheduled downtime. Thank you for your patience. Behind the scenes, executives held calls, engineers worked fast. The numbers had to hold, the illusion had to survive the pause. No one addressed the core question yet. Where the profits came from. That question lived outside the portal. It waited. When the system went offline, screenshots began to circulate. Cached images, saved balances, proof of wealth that existed only on a screen. The stakes were set. Either the portal returned and withdrawals cleared, or the illusion collapsed under its own perfection. The portal had never missed a day. Now it was silent. Chapter 2, Escalation and Reversal. The maintenance window stretched past its stated end. 6 hours became 8, then 12. The banner remained calm. Scheduled maintenance in progress. Thank you for your patience. No clock, no countdown, just a blank promise. Investors checked social feeds. Nothing official. Support channels stayed open, but responses slowed. Please allow additional time. We are actively working on restoration. The phrasing shifted again. Actively working meant something had gone wrong. Inside the firm, the atmosphere tightened. Engineers worked in shifts, eyes fixed on logs that told the same story in different formats. The system that generated profits had no external anchor. It never had. The portal did not read the market, it read itself. The calculation engine sat in a sealed environment. Closed loop. Each account's gain fed the next cycle. Yesterday's balance became today's input. The numbers looked organic because the growth curve was smoothed. No spikes, no collapses, just enough variation to feel alive. A senior data analyst was brought in late. He was not part of the original build. That was why he was useful. He asked basic questions no one else wanted to answer. Where are the trades? Which exchanges? What timestamps tie to execution? No one responded directly. An engineer showed him a chart. Performance over time. The line went up. The analyst shook his head. That is output. I am asking about input. They gave him access to raw logs. It took him less than an hour. Profit entries had no counterpart. No order IDs, no fills, no counterparty records. Just calculations written as facts. He cross-checked timestamps. Dozens of accounts processed gains in the same second. That could not happen in real trading. Latency alone made it impossible. The portal did not care. It was not designed to care. Executives joined the room. Calm voices, controlled posture. They spoke about optics, about confidence, about not alarming users. The analyst spoke about math. He said the system was generating fictional value. The room went quiet. That word landed heavy. One executive reframed it. Synthetic performance modeling, internal liquidity simulation, temporary abstraction pending full deployment. The language stretched thin. It did not cover the gap. A decision was made. Lock the portal. Freeze withdrawals. Restore access only after stabilization. The maintenance window became a shield. Meanwhile, a whistleblower prepared an export. She worked in back-end support, not senior enough to question architecture, just close enough to see anomalies daily. She had watched processed withdrawals vanish into nothing. She had been told it was normal. She copied transaction tables, timestamps, internal messages. She knew her access would not last. The moment the portal went dark, permissions tightened. She moved fast. Outside, investors grew restless, forums filled with speculation. Some defended the firm, others demanded answers. The green numbers were gone now. All that remained was silence. Support issued a mass email. Maintenance extended due to unforeseen technical issues. Funds remained secure. No timeline provided. The word secure appeared 3 times. It meant nothing without access. The data analyst presented his findings formally. Slide by slide. No market integration. No external verification. Profit calculated internally and posted as truth. The executives listened without interruption. When he finished, one asked a simple question: can it be fixed without exposure? The answer was no. Any fix required admission. Any admission triggered collapse. The portal worked only if believed. A legal advisor joined the call. Allegations were discussed carefully. Nothing was labeled fraud. Misrepresentation was the preferred term. Unintentional error. Software anomaly. The language bent reality into something survivable. The whistleblower lost access at 3:40 p.m. Her credentials failed mid-session. She had already sent the files to a secure location. She did not know who would receive them yet, only that someone needed to. Executives drafted statements, carefully vague. Technical disruption, no mention of phantom profits, no mention of closed-loop calculations. The goal was time. Time to shape the story. The portal remained offline into Monday. Markets opened. Real ones. Volatility returned everywhere except the place that claimed to manage it best. Regulators had not arrived yet. Neither had law enforcement. But journalists began asking questions. Simple ones. When will access be restored? Why are withdrawals delayed? Is investor capital segregated? Answers were delayed. Each delay sharpened suspicion. Internally, pressure cracked. An engineer admitted the truth in a private message. It was never meant to go this far. The system started as a demo, a proof of concept. Early users knew it was simulated. Then money came in. Real money. The simulation never stopped. That admission stayed off the record. For now. Executives faced a narrowing path. Restore the portal and risk scrutiny. Keep it offline and confirm fear. Either way, the illusion was failing. Late Monday night, a draft disclosure circulated. It acknowledged discrepancies. It avoided intent. It promised review. It did not explain the missing money. The data analyst resigned. He sent his findings to his personal email. He did not want to be part of what came next. The whistleblower contacted a reporter. She shared enough to prove the portal was lying. Not everything, just enough. By the time the firm realized the leak, the story was already moving. Screenshots, logs, internal language exposed. The reversal was complete. The system built to project certainty now projected doubt. The portal had not returned. It might never return the same way. The question shifted, not whether the profits were real, but how long the truth could be delayed before everything fell apart. Chapter 3. Resolution and Aftermath. The portal came back online without warning. No countdown, no announcement. At 4:18 a.m. Eastern, the login page accepted credentials again. Investors flooded in at once, muscle memory overriding caution. The dashboard loaded slowly. When it finished, the numbers were gone. Balances showed only original deposits. No gains, no history of daily profit, just a flat figure and a notice at the top of the screen. System reconciliation in progress, data under review. That single line did more damage than weeks of silence. Screenshots spread within minutes. Before and after images side by side. Yesterday's wealth erased overnight. Forums exploded. Some users refreshed repeatedly, hoping the profits would reappear. They did not. Executives released a statement before sunrise. Carefully written. Measured. The portal had displayed projected performance metrics that were not finalized. Due to a technical error, simulated values were presented as realized gains. No funds beyond deposited capital ever existed. Withdrawals were delayed to prevent further inconsistency. The language was precise. It avoided certain words. Fraud was not mentioned. Deception was implied without admission. The statement framed the situation as correction, not collapse. Investigators moved fast. Financial regulators requested access to back-end systems. Independent auditors were engaged. The firm complied publicly, emphasizing cooperation. Internally, systems were locked down, code repositories frozen, logs duplicated and preserved. The closed-loop engine was reconstructed line by line. It did exactly what it was built to do: generate numbers that felt earned. The calculation engine fed itself. Yesterday's balance became today's base. A growth curve applied, slight variation injected to avoid detection. No trades, no market exposure, no external verification, just math looping in isolation. The profits never existed because they were never meant to exist. They were placeholders that stayed too long. Investigators documented the timeline. Early internal use, demo phase, limited user group, clear labels marking simulated data. Those labels were removed during a redesign, not with malice, according to internal emails, with optimism. The assumption was that real trading infrastructure would replace the simulation before scale. It did not. Deposits arrived faster than development. Marketing outran engineering. Executives leaned into the numbers because the numbers were there. Each decision stacked pressure on the illusion. Investors confronted the gap between belief and reality. Many had planned their futures around those balances. Homes delayed, debts postponed, confidence misplaced. The portal had trained them to trust consistency over verification. Withdrawals were unfrozen 3 days later. Original deposits were returned where possible. Not all funds were immediately available. Some accounts required additional review. That phrase returned. Additional review. It now carried weight. Executives appeared on video. Apologetic tone, no tears. Responsibility acknowledged without confession. We regret the confusion. We are committed to transparency. Lessons have been learned. Questions followed. Who approved the system? When were executives aware? Why were compliance alerts ignored? Answers came slowly. Some did not come at all. The compliance officer testified first, calm, precise. She described the discrepancies, the warnings, the instructions to stand down. She did not speculate. She stated facts. Her emails were entered into record. The data analyst followed. He explained the math. Simple, clear, impossible to refute. He showed how identical timestamps appeared across unrelated accounts. He explained why real markets could not behave that way. The whistleblower remained anonymous publicly. Her data spoke for her. Raw logs, internal messages, screenshots of dashboards never meant for clients, proof that the system knew it was simulating. Executives defended intent. No desire to deceive, no plan to steal. They argued negligence, not design. The distinction mattered legally. It did not matter emotionally. Regulators labeled the conduct misrepresentation. Civil penalties followed. No criminal charges were filed at first. Investigations remained open. Language stayed careful. The portal went dark permanently 1 week later. A final notice replaced the dashboard. Operations suspended pending restructuring. Support channels closed. Social accounts locked. The brand evaporated overnight. Only cached pages remained. Screenshots saved by investors. Archived statements preserved by journalists. Digital ghosts of certainty that never existed. Some investors recovered fully. Others waited months. A few lost money tied up during the freeze. Lawsuits followed. Settlements moved quietly. No public victories. Just exhaustion. Executives resigned one by one. Some found new roles elsewhere. Others disappeared from public view. No dramatic arrests. No courtroom spectacle. The ending was administrative, not cinematic. The lesson traveled faster than accountability. Analysts referenced the case in conferences. Demo systems must never face the public. Simulated data must be labeled permanently. Trust built on dashboards is fragile. The phrase phantom dividends entered industry language. Profits that appear real until they are questioned. Wealth that exists only because no one asked where it came from. Investors changed behavior. Some became cautious. Others grew cynical. Many realized they had trusted design over evidence, clean interfaces over ugly truth. The portal itself faded quickly. Platforms always do, but the damage lingered. Trust, once broken, does not refresh on schedule. In the end, there was no single villain. Only decisions made under pressure, silence chosen over clarity. Optimism allowed to replace verification. The profits never existed. but the belief in them did. And belief once sold carries a cost that numbers alone cannot repay.